Today, we're going to break down one of the most wild car builds I've seen in a long, long time. It's a project that's all about technical genius, but also has this really deep personal meaning. We're talking about a story of fusion, raw ambition, and an engine that has absolutely no business being where it is.
So let's just start with a number, a big one, 900. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's what we're talking about. Horsepower, a truly staggering amount of power, enough to completely warp your perception of speed. And that's the raw output of the car we're looking at today. And here's the kicker. This is where the story gets really compelling. We're talking about a Subaru WRX, a car that's famous for its all-wheel drive, its turbocharged four-cylinder boxer engine. Not this. Okay, so let's get right into it. This isn't just about building a fast car. See, the builder, Anthony Gallegos, he just couldn't bring himself to sell his 2010 Subaru WRX. His mom, who had co-signed for it, sadly passed away. Her name was still in the title, and for him, selling it was just unthinkable. And that single emotional decision, well, that was the spark for everything that came next. You know how it is with big projects. There's always a turning point, right? A moment where the original plan just gets thrown right out the window. For this Subaru, that moment happened far from home, surrounded by the sound of pure American muscle. And check this out. This shows you the complete pivot he made. On the left, that's the normal path for a WRX build. Build the stock engine, bigger turbo, the usual stuff. But then Anthony went to LS Fest in 2023. He felt the raw power of these huge boosted V8s. And that was it. The vision shifted completely. He decided to ditch the entire Subaru formula and do something totally different. So here's the crazy part. Anthony basically decided to combine 3 rival automotive families into one car. Think about it. He wanted the heart of a General Motors V8, the lungs of a Dodge Hellcat, all living inside the body of a Subaru. I mean, this wasn't just ambitious. It was borderline insane. The whole thing starts with the legendary LS3 V8 from GM. It's light, it's pretty compact, and man, it loves to make power. But a stock engine was never going to cut it for this. No way. This one was completely torn down and rebuilt with fully forged internals. Stronger pistons, rods, the whole deal. And even stroked out to a bigger 416 cubic inches, all to get it ready for a massive amount of boost. This is really the core engineering puzzle right here. A Dodge Supercharger was never, ever meant to sit on top of a GM engine. They just don't fit at all. The solution? A totally custom adapter plate. And this led to a crucial partnership with a company called Fabworkz, who happened to be developing a prototype. So Anthony's build actually became the real-world guinea pig for their wild idea. Now, when you drop a 900 horsepower engine into a car, it has this massive ripple effect. All of a sudden, every single part of the original Subaru Transdrive isn't just a weak link, it's a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And this just shows you that domino effect perfectly. The stock transmission? Yeah, it would shred itself to pieces. So in goes a super tough T56 gearbox from a Cadillac CTS-V. The rear differential? It would literally detonate. So it gets replaced with a bulletproof Ford 8.8-inch rear end. The axles, the brakes, every single stock part had a weakness that had to be replaced with something built for insane power. An engine making this much power is, as you can imagine, incredibly thirsty. To pump enough E85 for 900 horsepower, the entire stock fuel system had to go. It was completely replaced with heavy-duty stuff. We're talking twin fuel pumps, absolutely enormous 1300cc injectors, all to make sure that engine never, ever starves for fuel when you're wide open throttle. The suspension had to be totally re-engineered, and not just for better handling, but literally out of necessity. It all starts with a custom tubular subframe. That's the only way you can physically get a V8 to fit in a Subaru chassis. From there, he added a full-performance air ride system and custom control arms to manage the car's stance and get the alignment right with that new Ford rear end. So, after all this incredible engineering, all the custom fabrication, all the problem-solving, what's it all for? Why go to these absolutely insane extremes? This timeline really puts the whole thing into perspective, doesn't it? This wasn't some quick weekend project. It's a journey that spanned years. It started as a personal daily driver, was totally redefined by loss, got inspired by a new vision, and now has this clear goal for the future, a debut at the legendary SEMA show. Anthony's journey teaches a few lessons that go way beyond cars. First, the value of buying good parts once instead of cheap parts twice. Second, the power of teaming up with experts to solve problems you can't handle alone. And maybe the biggest one of all is what can happen when you just dare to ignore the rulebook and do something completely different. And this, right here, this gets to the real heart of it. The entire breathtaking technical achievement, the 900 horsepower, the unholy mix of car brands, it's all built on a deeply personal story. The car became a tribute. It became a way to channel grief into creating something incredible. Well, you get this. A 900 horsepower Subaru that shouldn't exist. It's proof that the most incredible things we create, whether they're made of steel or code or whatever, they often have a purpose that's so much bigger than the thing itself.